is a faience asparagus plate. It is marked déposé, meaning the design was formally registered, that someone filed legal paperwork to protect these raised asparagus spears. It was made by Keller and Guérin at Lunéville in Lorraine in the late 19th century. I bought it here, in France, because I had moved to France and I intended to grow asparagus. And if you're going to grow asparagus in France, you should eat it off a proper plate. That seemed obvious to me at the time. It still does. But the detective in me could not leave it alone. In 1751, Denis Diderot began publishing the Encyclopédie, the great project of the French Enlightenment. The idea was simple and enormous. Write down everything humanity knows, every craft, every trade, every technique, every form coming out of every kiln in France. Put it in alphabetical order, make it available. Diderot was not a modest man. The Encyclopédie included detailed engravings of faience forms, and figure 55, lower right of plate 3, is this form, this divided asparagus form, this proportion, this shape. Diderot's engravers drew it in 1751. Keller and Guérin made mine in the decades that followed. The design was considered worth protecting legally, déposé, stamped into the clay on the back. Someone thought this form was worth preserving, worth filing paperwork for, worth passing forward. The trail was worth following, and the bones of the asparagus plate evolved into separate plates we see today. Faience, spelled the French way, with the accent doing its quiet work, is tin-glazed earthenware. It takes its name from Faience in Italy, where the technique was first refined into an art form. The French adopted it, transformed it, and made it entirely their own. The great manufacturing names, Moustier, Rouen, Strasbourg, Lunéville, were producing work in the 17th and 18th centuries that could stand beside anything coming out of the great porcelain houses. The difference between faience and porcelain is the clay body. Faience is earthenware underneath, fired at a lower temperature, more forgiving, more regional. Porcelain is something else entirely, harder, whiter, colder. Faience is the people's ware, the ware of the village tables and market towns and farmhouse kitchens. This plate is barbotine. The clay was sculpted before firing. Those asparagus spears were shaped by hand, individually, before anyone picked up a brush. Someone's fingers made those tips. That is not decoration. That is craft in the oldest sense of the word. And then the trail led somewhere I was not expecting. In the north of the Creuse, 10 kilometers south of Boussac, on the river that runs behind what is now my back wall, there was a faience factory. The Faïencerie de la Poisette, of yesterday and today, revived in 1978 by Jean-Jacques and Nathalie Duterme, who produced decorative and utilitarian faience for people who wanted quality pieces for their homes. In Clugnet, in my village, those chimneys in the old postcard are kiln chimneys, firing clay, on this river, in this village. The same tradition that produced Diderot's figure 55, the tin glaze, the shaped clay, the fired form, was alive here on the Creuse, within living memory. The factory is gone now. The chimneys are gone. I do not know what became of Jean-Jacques and Nathalie Duterme. The river is still there, running where it always ran, indifferent to what stood on its banks. This is how most things end in a village of 650 people in the Creuse, not with drama, just with absence. And then the absence becomes ordinary, and then nobody remembers there was ever anything there. Almost nobody. I didn't bring this plate to France. I bought it here, because I intended to grow asparagus and eat it properly, and live like the place deserved to be lived in. I did not know when I did that the Creuse, this specific corner of it, this village, this river, already knew how to make one. The trail I thought I was following turned out to lead here. to this river, to this village, to a factory that is gone and a tradition that is not quite gone, because I'm standing in it, holding a plate that Diderot drew in 1751 in the place where such things were once made by hand. The eyes have to be prepared before the thing that was always there becomes visible. I brought French faience home to France. I did not know, when I did it, how far home it had actually come.